So this is the first of the last videos. It's been quite a while since I did the other ones, and I'm not too familiar with my notes or with anything else, but I'm just doing whatever I can to try to get this done. This will be the apps um, video, and we'll start out by looking at the apps that are on the front page, or the first home page. You'll see that little dot down there shows we're on the first one, and then there are more on the second page and the third page and the fourth page and there. But this is the home page, and of course you can change the order of these any way you want. This is just the way that made sense to me, and so I arrange them this way. So the first ones that I'm going to talk about are the App Store and the Contacts, which I've given you an alternate app, which is called Simpler, because it has some nice things about it. If you want to go back to the native contact apps, I believe that you'll find it like on one of these last pages, because you can't delete the native apps. So I'll be talking about those two, and then the clock app and the calendar app, and then the camera and the photos apps. And I may stop if it goes over 15 minutes, because those seem to be harder to upload to YouTube. So then I'll just stop and start again on a new one. But the first one here is the App Store. That's this one. So if you click on that, you notice down at the bottom there are several options. This says featured. I never use that. That's their featured things at the App Store. And the top charts, again, I never use that. Explore, that's sort of like search. So you can find different either apps or all these other things, books and movies and things. But right up here where it says search, that's where you'd put in whatever it is you're looking for. And then there's a little 3 vertical horizontal lines, which is your wish list. And there's nothing there now. But you would search for an app that you wanted, and then it would bring up a bunch of ones, and you'd have to look through and see which ones you're interested in. And down here at the bottom, there, the next one says purchased. And they include purchased to mean all of the ones you've gotten for free, too. So let me move this over a little bit. There, you can see it. So these are all the ones that I have put onto your iPad. I don't believe any of these are native apps. You'll see some of them say open and some of them say update, and they don't. I've set yours not to update except when it's on Wi-Fi and plugged in. So that'll save you some battery other times, and you really don't need to update them. But if you want to, here you could say, oh, I'm getting ready to use this one, so I better update it first and make sure there's stuff there. Otherwise, you can use this to open the various ones and just go to them and use them, but that's just showing up here. And here the updates are listed separately so that you can see more about each one and what it would, what any particular update would be doing. Whether it's a big update or a little update, or really wouldn't affect you. But eventually you might as well just update everything. There's really no reason not to most of the time. But you want to do it when you're plugged in and on Wi-Fi. Okay, so to get back to the home page, you can either do this, or you can click twice on this button, the hard button down at the bottom. So that's the App Store. It's called, by the way, App Store for Apple products, where Google uses Google Play, to mean the same thing, only it's got their apps in it, and the App Store has Apple apps in it. And I'm reading my notes here to see if I covered everything. That's pretty much it. Okay, so we'll talk about the Contacts one. I added the Simpler Contacts app as well as the native app because you can see a column of pictures there and you can merge duplicate contacts. But entering contacts manually causes the window become really small. And so if you don't want that, just delete it, the Simpler Contacts, and you can use the regular one. You'll have both of them. Just because you're using Simpler does not mean that all the information is not still in Contacts. I just like the way Simpler looks better. Now, I don't know how to get Contacts from an Android, like your tablet, to an iPad. I think that it's possible to do it, maybe wirelessly. Probably it's definitely able to do it if you plug it in and use the data cord. That may or may not work with the cord that I'm going to send you. But you'll just have to find out about that, or you'll just have to start out and put the contacts in yourself. And since you may not have all that many that you want to put on here. That looks like this, by the way, when you open it. Hello. There we go. No, I don't want to update now. Not now. And I don't want your version there. Okay. So, actually, I don't even know who some of these people are. I'm not sure how they got into my things. But here are I only have 9 contacts. This does not make sense. I have no idea what's going on here. But from here, you can, where was the merge? Missing fields, all contacts, 9. I don't understand this. I'm going to have to figure that out later. But at any rate, here you can see that I've been able to select photos that reside on my iPad. Those are the only ones you can use to say what the picture is going to be beside the name. So like for you, I have this one, and I can change that by pressing on it, and then let's see, not copy. Well, crud. Edit. That's what I want. Edit. And see, I can edit the picture then where it says edit picture. I can add phone numbers, add emails, change the ringtone that would happen if you called me, and change the text tone if I wanted to, so I could know it was you texting me and not somebody else. I could add links. I could add other addresses. Your birthday is in there. You can add all these different things, Facebook Messenger. Some of that will populate by itself once you use it. And so let's go back to contacts, all contacts. And I don't have favorites here. Duplicate contacts. I don't have duplicates because I went through and allowed it to remove the duplicates. So I really don't understand about most of these other things. Down here, you have the thing for contacts, which is where we are. We also have one for groups, and I don't have any groups. Oh, here's the merge button down there. Backups and more. More has things like settings and about and all that sort of thing. I'm not going to go into all that. So here we'll go back to the home page. And the next thing will be the clock app. Now, it turns out the clock app on the iPad is different from the one on the iPhone, and I don't like it as much, but it still has the capabilities. It just, for some reason, has this stupid thing down here and only shows whichever of the alarms. I've set 3 test alarms just so you can see what it looks like. And this week grid shows that I set one for 3 days down here. Will go off for 3 days at around 3 o'clock. I'm not sure what I set it for. And then up here, this shows you that I set one at 8 a.m. and another one for 8:30 a.m. And so you can press them there. But the iPhone just shows a whole list of the alarms that I've set, and I like that better. I don't particularly like this, but at any rate, so in order to, and this is the thing that you'd be using the most, I mean, it has a timer so that you can press this and it'll start timing down, or you can use the stopwatch, which goes in the other direction and starts going forward if you want to. And then the world clock just gives you different times you can set. I set Memphis and Cupertino, which is the closest one to me, and just left the others the way they already were. But you could add one, you know, that was someplace you were interested in for some reason by pressing on that. And so back to the alarms. So if you want to edit, see there it shows a list of the alarms. So if you want to edit one of them, let's say you wanted to edit this one, that the first one that I put, which the title of it, I made test alarm title. You use the little gray arrow and you would go up and down to change the time, and then you would select AM or PM, very important. And then down here you can say whether you want to repeat this or it's a one-time thing. So if you wanted it every day of the week forever, the only way to do the default is never, meaning one time it will alarm. If you want it every day of the week, then you'd have to do this and then just go back and it will save it. Then you can change the sound that it makes. You know, I had radar set, which I think that's what it sounds like, but you could set it for, let's say, beacon or by the seaside. And then when you're done, you just go back. And this snooze button, I've never quite figured out how to use it, but I think it's probably useful. It probably, if you have it allowed, then if you don't do something in particular when the alarm goes off, it will keep going off every 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is. Then when you're done, very important, you click Save. Okay, so now we have these ones that are showing. And when you're ready to, when you're satisfied, then you just off-click like that. Okay, so that's the clock. Where am I? I'm at 13 minutes. I'm wondering whether I should try to go to the next one, which is photos or camera. Probably not, just because I don't want to have to deal with that 15 minutes thing. So I will stop here and, oops, come on now. There. And then the next things we'll do are the photos and the camera, and then the App Store and the settings, because settings is like a really, really big one. No, we already did the App Store. That's right. Okay. Bye.